What looks complicated to do but is actually quite easy. Fuck up your entire life. Copying posts that reached top of the month but slightly changing the question to get gold. You don't enjoy reading, is it? Moralic standpoint. Necessary to tell someone. Random thing. Quote question mark. Questions which are reformulated questions from a thread a few hours ago. Using a PC. I've worked in a training capacity before and I found that most people's problems are not the difficulty, but rather being intimidated and feeling overwhelmed. Especially if you're a bit older and are just now sitting down to learn how to use one. Much like many things, if you take it slow, it's not bad. Once you get the hang of things, it seems silly to have stressed out about it. Yup. One of my grandpas is over 80 years old and fell in love with computers and technology only a decade ago. One of my cousins taught him how to use YT, and by watching educational videos he's taught himself so much. Last time I came to visit, he streamed a video recording he had of himself playing the guitar and singing from his tablet to the TV. No one had taught him that, but he even had a Bluetooth speaker set up and was so proud singing along while he showed it to us. He has learned how to edit videos. He keeps a lot of his own lyrics in a Word document and takes pride in filing and organizing all the family photos on his computer using a scanner. Super impressive for a man his age. Meanwhile, my mum calls me almost every week to ask me her password to Netflix or how to delete comment off Facebook. My mom's favorite saying, "I just can't do that, underscore 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 underscore. Have you tried? Underscore 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 underscore. Well, no. Edit. Well, my little short story must have really struck a chord. I said I would never say it. But man, this really blew up. And I am enjoying reading all of the comments. Because it's like underscore underscore, oh yeah, underscore underscore, no doubt, underscore underscore, of course, underscore underscore, oh. That is so true, underscore underscore, I can't count the times, underscore underscore, oh man. If I had a nickel for every time, underscore underscore. Edit 2. Wow, my first gold. I've only been here a month. Thanks, fellow Redditor. I'm speechless. Well, not really, because I really need to thank my fans, the producer, all of the little people that did most of the hard work. And most of all, I want to thank my mom, because after all, she was the main character in my story. Okay, enough of that. Back to reality. Thanks again, Mystery Redditor. She's tried nothing and she's all out of ideas, lol. Sounds like my monsieur. Basic sewing. Things like simple hemming. Sewing buttons are easy to learn and will make your life easier if you keep learning. It's amazing to be able to fit your own clothes. Right. A friend told me that she was going to have her pants dry cleaned because a button had come off and they would replace it for her. What? Literally only takes a minute to fix with a thread and needle. Baking. Can you follow a recipe? Can you measure? Can you time things with a clock? Then you can bake. Not saying it doesn't take a tremendous amount of skill to become a great baker, but to make things like cookies or cakes that aren't from a mix, it's not that complicated, yet everyone is amazed when you do it. Good life pro tip. Cooking is experimentation. Baking is chemistry. You often have to adjust ingredients, spices, and ratios when you cook, because even doing something exactly the same as last time might not yield the same results. You just have to follow instructions when you bake, or else everything'll get fucked. Not following instructions exactly is how you get those really awful reviews people leave for recipes online. This recipe for angel food cake requires eggs, but I didn't have any, so I replaced them with some yogurt and vegetable oil. It didn't really have the light consistency I'm used to with angel food cakes I usually buy at the store. 1/5. Second grade me, learning to read an analog clock. My daughter has made it to 18 without learning to read an analog clock. After a certain point it became a point of pride. She's likely to become her school valedictorian, and she wants to say, "School taught me many things." but not how to read a clock. Crochet. It's just pulling loops through other loops in various combinations. Knitting too. It's just one stitch, and that stitch backwards. If you can do that, you can make almost any knitting piece. Keeping track of stitches, rows, following complex patterns, making clothes that fit, and adding embellishments like cabling can be a bit more tricky. But you can do all sorts of cool effects with just knit and purl. It's neat as well to find yourself getting quicker and quicker at completing rows. Origami paper cranes. It's a tradition here to have 1,000 cranes folded for weddings. They're often done in gold foil, framed, and mounted. My parents never did, so I decided to fold them for Christmas one year. By the time I was finished, I figured that I could probably fold one with both hands behind my back. So I tried it. Yes, I can. My wife has Japanese heritage and lost her mom not long after we started dating. To honor her at our wedding, she and her sister folded 1,000 cranes. We strung them up and made them a photo backdrop for the wedding reception. Picking a standard pin and tumbler lock. Lockpick lawyer has taught me so much about locks. Primarily how most of them suck at securing things. Love that dude. Some of the combination locks he cracks just make me feel embarrassed for the companies that make the Monsieur. Excel. If you can use basic logic, and know a couple of powerful formulas, if, index, match, sum, etc., you can perform literal magic in the eyes of your coworkers. I don't think I had really done anything significant in Excel before this, but I come up with an idea to make a spreadsheet for a specific problem. Monsieur spend like a couple hours learning how to make an equation in Excel, how to lock rows and columns. Literally just Google everything. By the end of the day, people are calling me a spreadsheet guru. Literally just Google everything. This is me with spreadsheets in work. People think I'm amazing at the Monsieur, but mostly it's just, surely Excel must be able to do this. Google's, here we go. Apparently using your turn signals. Tying a tie. When I was young, I tried to spin a ball on my finger and couldn't do it. So I tried again and again. And within an hour I pretty much figured it out. What's the trick? I can never seem to get it to spin fast enough. Ed. Love all the replies. Thank you, Reddit. Practice throwing, spinning it fast and horizontally without worrying about catching it on your finger. Basketball players usually do right-handed spins clockwise from above, so they can speed up with the other hand. You can get a faster initial spin going the other way though. You can put more of your arm into the spin. Once you've got the throw and spin, work on throwing it asterisk upwards, asterisk less and less, and catching it on your finger. Bend your finger so you can catch it on the top of your fingernail. There's a lot less friction. A daily 15-minute session should give you some success after a few days. Some days will be worse than the previous one. Don't stress it. That's how humans work. Just work on something simpler instead. Edit. A basketball is hard to learn on, but if you want to use one, deflate it slightly to learn. I tend to use a volleyball or children's football, soccer ball. The most important thing is the wobble. You want a ball that is evenly weighted. If you have one which is bad, you can put it in water to see which point is heaviest. That should go at the bottom. Monsieur, once you can do it a bit, say 5 seconds. Then whenever you see a big basket full of balls, try them all out to find a good one. I can't explain it. The transition from spinning it to getting your finger under it is just not natural at first. The more attempts you make it, the quicker you can get at that transition, quicker you can spin. Solving a Rubik's Cube. I don't know who gave me my first 3x3 cube, but I remember being in the 6th grade watching YouTube videos on how to solve the Monsieur. Once I understood how the algorithms worked, it was just a matter of memorizing the Monsieur. Once you memorize them, it's game over. I remember showing all my friends how I could solve it with my eyes closed. They were shocked, as were my parents. The more impressed they became, the more worried I was that they would find out how easy it was. Lol. Middle school was fun. Driving stick, easiest thing ever once you're used to it. And anything stick becomes a race car. You can have a lot of fun in an older, underpowered car if it's a stick shift. Replacing parts on modern appliances such as dishwashers and clothes washers. 90% of them are plug and play. If you know what the problem is, you can figure out what part you need from the net. Order it online, and replace it yourself with minimal effort. Asterisk, save yourself hundreds of dollars. And asterisk, 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 feel like a boss, asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Greater than if you know what the problem is. That's a big if right there. The easy part might be replacing things, but figuring out what the problem is, not so easy. Shuffling a deck of cards. The idea isn't hard, but I got clumsy hands as if I'm a huge puppet or so. Doesn't help that I got huge hands either. Looks complicated but is easy. Asterisk, Rubik's Cube. Asterisk, Minesweeper. Asterisk, disassembling firearms. Easy to do but hard to learn. Asterisk, flying. Asterisk, some types of writing. Asterisk, playing a music instrument. Flying gets much easier as you progress, but I wouldn't say it ever really reaches an easy level. Aviation has a bunch of neat gotchas that will humble you as soon as you think you've got it all figured out. I read it as you fly a plane for a bit, easy, you land without dying, hard. Building computers. It's just adult Legos. Lego is adult Lego. Computers are just a different form of Lego. You are never too old for Legos. False. People 100 or over are not supposed to use Legos. Checking a thread to see if someone already posted the same response. Looking at you. Rubik's Cube nerds. Active listening. It's just listening to what people say to you and asking questions. You don't even have to ask hard questions. Sometimes you can just say something like, wow, that seems underscore, and it validates how they're feeling and makes them feel like you care. Because trust me, even the most oblivious of people tend to notice when people's eyes glaze over. Even if they don't call you on it. Greater than, because trust me, even the most oblivious of people tend to notice when people's eyes glaze over. Even if they don't call you on it. I agree with everything you say, but this. I just finished an 8-hour shift on cash and some people are just that oblivious they can't tell that. You've fallen asleep with your eyes open or staring directly through them. Running a pre-programmed light board for theater plays. It's hitting one button over and over on cue. But, have you ever tried programming said light board at midnight when the actors won't STFU and the stage manager hasn't had enough coffee, cigarettes? That's why you program it at 3 a.m. when everyone else has gone home, crying face. Reading a manual. It's all in there. Really. Every question you've got is answered. If just sit down and read the damn thing. God, I miss those old PC game manuals. I remember breaking out a Homeworld or StarCraft manuals just to read because I was bored. They were filled with so much story that had so little to do with the game itself. Hell, I remember buying Civilization 2 and seeing a manual that looked more like a textbook. Now everything is replaced by a tutorial because no one has an attention span long enough now. Looks out window. God damn it, for the last time. You damn kids, get off my lawn. Embroidery, especially cross-stitch, looks really neat. Loads of increasingly awesome patterns. Literally only one stitch to learn. Latte art, making a heart with steamed milk just takes practice. Doing your taxes if you don't need to itemize your deductions or use a 1099. They're even easier when you don't do them. When you truly get over the fear of failure of perfectionism, you might be surprised how much you are capable of. Handyman work. You obviously need some skill. But with some help of YouTube, some tools on the internet, you can save hundreds in-house stuff that doesn't necessarily require a professional to do it. Being there for someone. Most people always know that one person who always knows exactly what to say to cheer someone up or help someone through a tough time, and you probably wonder, man, how do they do that so easily? Quote, it's really not hard. Just listening and honestly and openly talking to someone can do wonders. You'd be amazed how much you can actually help. Related to this, I'll always remember a bit of advice I got from a teacher a number of years ago. When two people have a conversation, they take turns to talk. A lot of time spent in that conversation is waiting for your turn to talk. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because you're also paying attention to what the other person is saying. But you're still waiting for your turn to talk. Sometimes, when the other person is talking about something that's bothering them or it's something that's difficult for them to talk about, one of the best things you can do is to give up your turn. When there's a pause, don't take it as your turn to speak, because it could just be them gathering their thoughts before they say something else. Don't just sit there silently though. I'll often make a comment every so often just to show I'm listening, or repeat back what they said in different words so that they know I understand them. But they take all the turns they need. This is also a good technique for getting somebody to open up about something that's bothering them while having a conversation. People have a need to fill silences. They might otherwise say something they otherwise wouldn't have to fill that silence. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.